Good morning, fifth graders. How's everything? I hope you're all okay and you are enjoying your lockdown. Today's lesson is a very important lesson and very interesting lesson. But first, let us remember what was our last lesson. You remember? No? Our last lesson was about the types of material depending on how do they pass the light through them. We divided them into three groups: transparent, translucent, and opaque. The transparent are the materials that let all the light to pass through. Translucent are the materials that let some of the light to pass through. Opaque that let no light to pass through. And I hope that you did solve the exercise or the questions that I asked you about. Today's lesson is about how do people use these shadows in the past and even now. Long time ago, people were using these shadows to tell stories and to enjoy themselves. Have you ever made shadows using your hands or your fingers? Have you ever watched this in MBC3? I watched them once. They were very interesting. People put their hands in different ways to make shadows, to demonstrate something or to make a story or something like that. So people were doing that long time ago, using a source of light, their hands, an object, and a screen. This screen were here too. So these shapes and things appear on it so people can see it. Okay, this is called the shadow puppets. This is called the shadow puppets. Or either they may use a solid paper and cut it into a shape of something to make this as a person, a frog, a rabbit, a tree, anything. They use a solid but an opaque and solid paper to cut out the shapes that they want and then put the source of light. Then these silhouettes, then a screen. So these shadows will appear on the screen and the people out there can see it and enjoy it. So today's lesson, we are talking about two things. I hope that you figured out what are these things. We are talking about silhouettes and shadow puppets. Silhouettes and shadow puppets. Silhouettes are a shape of a solid paper, opaque paper, and I want you to answer me. Why should this paper be opaque? Why should it be opaque? The silhouette are a shape of a person, of an object, of any living thing that is made of a solid opaque material to make a show. The shadow puppets are these silhouettes are used to make a show or a story or something. To understand more about this lesson, I'm gonna attach you this video to enjoy it, and you may find this lesson in your book, page 70 and 71. You're gonna understand more when you watch this video.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time there were 3 little pigs, and the time came for them to leave home and seek for their fortunes. Before they left, their mother told them, "Whatever you do, do it the best that you can, because that's the way to get along in the world." The first little piggy that went off met a man with a cart full of straw and said to him, "Please, mister, give me some straw to build me a house," which the man did, and the little pig built a house with it because it was the easiest thing to do.
Along came a big bad wolf who dearly loved to eat fat little piggies, and knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, by the hair of my chinny chin." The big bad wolf then answered, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," and ate up the little pig. The second little pig met a man with a cart load of sticks and said, "Please, man, give me those sticks to build a house," which the man did, and the pig built his house, which was a little bit stronger than a straw house. Then along came the big bad wolf and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, by the hair of my chinny chin."
"Then I'll huff and puff and blow your house down." So he huffed and puffed, and he puffed and he huffed, and at last he blew the house down, and he ate up the little pig. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks and said, "Please, man, give me those bricks to build a house with." So the man gave him the bricks, and he built his house with them. So the big bad wolf came, and he did to the other little pigs and said, little pig, let me come in." No, by the hair of my chinny chin. Then I'll huff and puff and blow your house in."
The wolf huffed and puffed, but he could not blow down the brick house. But the wolf was a sly old wolf, and he climbed up on the roof to look for a way into the brick house. He decided he would get down the chimney after him.
The little piggy saw the wolf climb up on the roof and lit a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed on it a large kettle of water.
When the wolf finally found a hole in the chimney, he crawled down and splashed right into the kettle of water, and that was the end of his trouble with the big bad wolf. The next day, the little piggy invited his mother over. She said, "You see, it is just as I told you. The way to get along in the world is to do things as well as you can."